is Danielle Iwata here. I hope this video finds you all well. It has been a while. We've been in Japan these past couple of months. I've been studying Japanese. We recently moved into a new apartment, but it's still pretty empty. This is actually our living room and my classroom so far because we have an office space, but we don't have any furniture or desks. So I still continue teaching regularly, but just life being busy, I haven't had a chance to make a new video. I've been an online ESL teacher for over 5 years now, and I started with children with VIPKID. It's going to be 3 years now, and I've been with SayABC for 1 year and 4 months. I wanted to share this video with you to go over what my experience has been so far and tell the truth about it. This might be helpful for you if you're a current SayABC teacher, a new hire, and you want to know what it's like from other teachers, or if you're interested in the company and you want to kind of research before you sign up. If you are interested with working for SayABC, I do help a lot of teachers get hired and go through the process. So if you are interested, you can use my link below. If you've already applied and you still need help, my email is below. Email is the best way of getting in touch with me. I do check that regularly. I got hired with SayABC around March. I was really attracted to the teaching materials and the platform. I'm a huge fan of just teaching, not having to worry about getting props or getting a reward system or doing all these things that I just want to teach. And so when they give the excellent lesson material really helped me to just do my job as a teacher, and I loved it. I've had some really amazing homerooms. That's another feature of SayABC. If you don't know that homerooms, it's basically the same group of kids, 4 kids, for over several weeks. So it's really nice to get to build a rapport like in a normal classroom with the same students. I come from VIPKID. I still work for them as well. However, with VIPKID, if you don't know, you do have to have a reward system. And it gets a little stressful, especially when you get regulars and I have to think of something new. So it was really nice to not have to worry about that. And because the platform is so interactive, you don't really need to bring too many props because there's activities in the slides themselves. And if you've been following me for a while, I was really excited about SayABC, so I started making videos about them and helping others who are interested in the process get through. In July, they asked me to be a brand ambassador for the company to collaborate and share information with the teacher community about SayABC. It was really fun doing that. Later in the year of 2018, myself along with 4 other teachers were invited to the SayABC headquarters in Shanghai to see it and for their annual gala, and that was an amazing experience. We got to meet founder of SayABC, Guan, along with the founder of VIPKID, Cindy, and see the headquarters and the staff. They worked so hard. It was just amazing to be on the other side. Usually we're just behind the computer as a teacher, but see all of the inner workings. That was a whirlwind of a year, but there are a couple of things I wanted to talk with you about, sharing my experience, and everyone has their own experience that's unique to them. I do love and I recommend SayABC. They're great. However, I do believe in being accountable for myself, holding others accountable. So it's going to be an honest review. Things that I don't like so much, I'll be sharing with you guys, along with things that I do love and have always loved about the company. I know the title here says I changed my mind about SayABC. Don't get me wrong, I'm still with the company. I know most of my videos are very positive about SayABC. However, I want to be real and honest about my experience, my feelings, and what it's been like this past year. So the first step for SayABC was getting hired, the onboarding process. I've worked with a couple of other online ESL companies, so I was familiar with how the interview would be. The most important part was the demo, where you have to demonstrate with material that you've already had to the interviewer, how you would teach this lesson to a child. Usually getting hired with an ESL company is intense. Dedicate a time in about a week. I would say you need 2 or 3 days for your interview, your self-study, your evaluation, and all of that takes kind of some time and preparation. So for me, I was hired within a week. I was going through it quickly. The training was videos that were helpful, that explained how the platform works, that I was very anxious about. And then the evaluation class, which I was also very anxious about. Thankfully, I passed it. If you pass your evaluation class and get hired, that is paid. So it's kind of like a paid training. The scheduling with SayABC, it was a bit stressful for me. it was a bit stressful coordinating, working with VIPKID and SayABC and not getting my times confused. But once I did figure out my scheduling, I opened my days in pairs. In a sense, it was nice because you know over the next 4 or 5 weeks that I have this class this day. It could be a pro or a con for you seeing the same students. Maybe you don't want to see some certain students, but you know who you're going to see, you know what days you're teaching. My teaching experience, top notch. I love the platform, the materials. It's one of the best I've ever seen. It was nice to meet Guan and sit down with him briefly with other teachers, and he was able to share his vision, his experience, that from a child he's kind of been an international citizen. I also enjoy the vision that he had to be able to provide classes to lower economic tier children and families. Personally, I really could relate to his vision. My parents are not from the States. My husband is not from the States, so I've always loved traveling, and I am a traveler, and I love National Geographic curriculum. It really opens up the world and talks about many different countries, and I love that we are doing that for children in China, and I love that we're also providing for all economic tiers in China, or people who maybe can't afford VIPKID classes. I think those were the points I wanted to talk about just generally. Now I want to go through the pros with SayABC and the cons. The pros, number one, is to work from home. So I've worked in the States, I've worked in Japan, I've worked in Peru, I've worked in Barbados, Trinidad, China. We're going to South Africa later this year, so I'll be working in South Africa. And it's good to know that wherever I go, I can continue to work as I travel. Another pro, the children. And with many companies, the children are a huge reason why our students that we teach. It's especially nice to be seeing the same group of kids or the same students. You are able to build some kind of a rapport, and you kind of know each of them, their personalities. So it's not like, boom, new student, figure it out for the next 25 minutes. You kind of know what they are, how they're going to act. What's more, just teaching them. They're so smart and they're so cute, but you have to be like, especially with the boys, you can't be like, you're so cute. You have to be very cool, but it's just wonderful to be, those are your students. It's nice that it is online. The other day, my friend who's a teacher asked me to come into her school to give English lessons. And yes, the kids were just as cute, but sticky and huggy. It's nice that we're on a computer. Never have been on a brick and mortar teacher, so yeah. The pay since I've been hired for new teachers has been reduced to $13 per class, plus the $4 incentive per class for finishing a homeroom. So it has lowered a bit. However, when you calculate it out and you look at the industry, the pay is still quite competitive. So I appreciate being paid a competitive rate, because being an online ESL teacher is not for the faint of heart. It is not easy, I wouldn't say. You work hard, so I appreciate getting paid well for my hard effort. Again, the platform and materials, amazing. It's a perfect harmony working with me. I like the interactive features, the music in the platform. I can't sing, so it's nice in the platform. There is a pre-recorded audio that is very catchy, usually. So that's nice. And other features in the platform for playing games, interacting with the teacher, interacting with other students. Another pro for me personally are my coworkers, the teachers, the community. I refer and I help many get hired and get on board with SayABC. In that process, I do get to know them a little bit, and it makes me happy that I am helping others. I've had people who their spouse or their mom has cancer, or they want to stay at home for their children, to be at home with their children, or take care of their aunt who has surgery, or they got laid off from their work, and we keep in touch. It is personally to me so rewarding that, don't cry, but that I can help people to have a bit of a positive influence in their life. My last pro about this company is, like I've mentioned, the teaching. You just have to teach. I wouldn't say that you have to worry about too much preparation. Just look over the materials and open your laptop and teach. So those were the pros for me personally that I can think of. I tried to keep it concise as much as I could. Also, let's go over the cons, things that I don't like so much about this company. The biggest thing for me are the bookings or the lack of bookings. You work so hard to get hired, but then it's not always a guarantee that your schedule is going to be booked to the capacity that you want it to be. And that's something that we have to remember. We're not employees, we're independent contractors. So we're not guaranteed bookings, we're not guaranteed hours. They've contracted us to teach a class when there is a class available. And for me, and I think for many teachers, sometimes their schedule is not as filled as possible. This is the same for many online ESL companies, that bookings do fluctuate. And that's just part of the being in the game of an ESL teacher. However, myself, and I'm sure many others, have financial responsibilities that they have to meet. What I don't get filled with SayABC, I open up with VIPKID, and between doing a combo of both of those companies, I am at a point where it's okay. In a sense, it's good, keeps me on my toes. They're teaching one-on-one and 1 to 4. It keeps me in good practice with trial classes, which I get a lot with VIPKID. So I'm happy, very happy doing that combo. And that's what I do when my schedule doesn't fill as much as I wanted it to with SayABC. Another con for me is the time off policy or lack of time off policy. There is no real set time policy for if you're on vacation or you're in a situation that you need a day off. It would be nice to have a clear option. SayABC advertises to the parents that your child will have the same teacher. So they want to provide the same consistent teacher for those children. And I understand, because to take a day off, then they have to scramble and find a substitute teacher. So I get it. And SayABC is aware, very aware of it. For me personally, another con, it's just my opinion, are the hours. My working hours are 5 a.m. to 8:10 a.m. and I have no reason to be up at that time. I am not a morning person. Some people are, and some people, this is a great thing. They can be up and work and be done before their children wake up. Or, like, to me, my ideal time zone would be Europe, like 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. in the afternoon. When we were in Japan, my hours were actually 1 hour after China, so 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. That was nice too. So that's just I don't like waking up early, but for some people that might not be a problem. Another con for me is the communication or lack of communication that sometimes we experience as a teacher with SayABC. Sometimes being all the way in China, I have an issue now. And I would like an answer today or before I go to sleep. Send an email, then you have to wait, and then maybe you sleep, and then the next morning is when you'll get the answer. But I must say that they do listen to their teachers. They are working hard, and I've seen that over the past year. A couple of things that they have now is an app. They didn't have an app before that you could check your schedule on your phone. You had to be on a computer to see your schedule. There was no referral tracking system, so you just had to wait in good faith. They've made that now. The close the camera function. Before, there was no way for us to turn off a student's camera if they are exposing themselves or doing something inappropriate in class, and now they've made that due to teacher demand. It's nice to be listened to and being heard. They have now a weekly News Bites newsletter. So every week we get updated with changes that we need to know. Going to the headquarters, I remember seeing they were frantically working because I forgot they have to deal with the parents too, their sales, marketing, their own staff. So sometimes they forget to communicate with their teachers, but I know they're working on it. And then the last con, I've mentioned it before, and I'll mention it again today, are the growing pains. They are still a small company, fairly new, and just thinking of the past year, the things that have changed. It's exciting, it's fun, it's interesting to see, but it's a little hard to keep up with it sometimes and to remember and to keep up with the fast pace that things are happening. Growing pains are good. That's basically my past year experience with SayABC in a nutshell. I think when I first got hired, I had a very Pollyanna view that they're the perfect company. Over the past year, I've been able to see the things that are great about them, but also the things that I think that they could work on. I love, love, love teaching with them. I look forward to seeing what will happen in the next months and years with SayABC. along this road. Roads have bumps in the road. Life has bumps. Let's keep on hanging in for the ride. If you are a current SayABC teacher, I would love to hear your experience. How has your year been with SayABC so far? What are your pros and cons? Feel free to leave a comment below in this video, or if you'd like to share with me privately, you could feel free to email me. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye. Whoa, just kidding.